you and I did a gender reveal. You helped me with. You also helped me decorate for a baby shower.
Mhm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but your sister-in-law was actually pregnant and having a baby all while you were going through the fertility, correct?
My
Is
s
my timetable right?
my sister-in-law, started trying to get pregnant around the same time of my last transfer because she wanted to have kids the same time.
I'm not gonna lie, I have not gone through this, but as I'm sitting here, I'm just kind of thinking, what would that feel like? Even though I know it doesn't compare because I haven't gone through it, but what would that feel like for me to be struggling to get pregnant, doing all the work to get pregnant, and having to still live life being supportive and having people around getting pregnant? I don't know if it wouldn't make me feel some sort of way, not in a bad way, but sad. Have you ever felt anything like that?
Yeah, and you know what?
Is it hard to separate the emotion?
I do compartmentalize pretty well, so didn't attend either of those events.
No.
I did attend my sister-in-law's diaper party and her, gender reveal, and, for me, I don't struggle with the prepared, equipped people that get pregnant. I don't feel any sort of way other than I'm happy for them when it's people who were in a position to give the baby a good life. Whenever I see people who are not in a good place to bring a child into this world. My husband and I have never, ever, ever in our lives been in a better position, and we couldn't. And so when I see people who are not, and God just says, here you go, you can have this. I don't struggle with the people who are bringing a child into a loving environment. I struggle with the people who aren't.
Right.
That is the struggle for me.
Yeah.
And that may sound wrong. I mean, there was a lady who found out that she was pregnant, and her response was, "Wow, that's cool. I didn't think I could get pregnant. I mean, it sucks because I have to have an abortion now, but cool."
Well, I can see on that
That's
level.
the shit that I hear, and I'm going, "Why do you get that? I did everything I was supposed to do, and then some. I'm living my life like I'm supposed to live my life."
Yeah.
That is what's hard for me. It's not the ones that want a baby and are bringing a baby.
Would love.
That's different.
Right. I could hear how emotional it is for you. But what I hear is it's more of the ones who do it and are careless about it and don't care, don't want it, don't have any intent of it. And that is too much. I think that would anger me as well, though, is to hear that kind of talk.
If you were 2 months postpartum from Gracie and you knew someone that had gotten pregnant and they're like, "Well, it's cool because I can get pregnant, but you know what? Imma just go get rid of it." And you had just lost your baby
Right.
girl.
Yeah, that would be tough to hear.
And I'm not saying I'm for or against abortion.
No,
That's not
that's
the issue of this
right. That's definitely
situation.
not the topic at
No.
all. But your feelings are honest and they actually still are kind of raw. And that's okay. I'm trying to think of what even got me through because it's been a little while. I mean, Gracie is 13. I lied. She turned 14.
Yeah, in June.
Yeah. So, that was a long time ago. I think for me, I remember the peace came from the kids I already had
Mhm.
because I was so grateful and thankful for them. And so I really feel for the families who lose, whether through not being able to have the child or whether stillbirth, miscarriages, whatever the case. Man, I cannot imagine. I always said that. What would have been worse is to never have the love of the children I have, to never have that experience. I can't imagine going through that. As well as I always try to, I think it made me feel better to say for parents who lose kids that are 3 years old
Yeah.
because you know what they sound like, you know what their little hugs feel like, you know what their personalities. And I was like, I'd rather have lost now
Yeah.
than to lose later. So I think I spun my situation in different ways to make it bearable, not to have to go through as much emotion. And she was our angel. We literally were handpicked our own angel for our family. So I really can sense the feelings you have. And I think if I was in those shoes, I can't imagine that those thoughts wouldn't kind of cross my mind as well.
It is still raw because whenever I see someone, um that is pregnant that just, like, doesn't want the baby, but got pregnant, so, like, just
Yeah,
very
yeah,
flippant about when I see that, it's very, very raw for me. But I've also been very, very careful not to verbalize that because I know that there were other people in my life that were experiencing really joyous things. So I don't want to make anyone feel like they can't tell me things because a new life is a miracle.
yeah.
But yes, it is raw.
So, personal question, where does it fall with grief? You've also experienced a lot of loss last year in death.
Mhm.
Is it similar to, like,
Yes,
the grief you know how grief process, there's different stages
Kubler-Ross.
to it?
Yes, Kubler-Ross. Here's the thing about the stages of grief. It's not a one way. It's not like you start at number 1 and you get to number 5 and then you're done. That's not how the stages of grief works. If you've ever read up on Kubler-Ross, you go back and forth between the stages until you finally have processed all of that grief. Imagine going through the stages of grief. 6 years, it was constant ups and downs. That is the perfect analogy. The emotions are very much those of grief. They were for me.
Yeah,
But now you're immediately starting the next round of IVF or you're immediately what's the next plan? And so it's very high highs and very low lows. It's up and down all the time until you get to the very end. And that I think is when you finally start really moving forward with processing the loss of the life that you dreamed of, really.
yeah.
So yes, I think grief is a great word for it.
Does it make you hold on to the ones you have a little bit tighter?
Yes.
Like, you're a fortunate one to already have 2 children.
Yes.
So, where does that amplify your parenting when you look at the ones that you have?
You know, this is gonna sound crazy, and I don't even know if I should say it.
Well, then you should definitely say it. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna come out your mouth, so I really don't know.
So I know that no matter how many children you have, losing one of them is terrible devastation. It's
Mhm.
life altering. My oldest had already moved out. He was an adult. He moved out of my house. And so I just have this one little one that I'm responsible for now, like daily.
You speaking about, like, present day, like, right now?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And of course you always have a fear of something. Oh God, something's going to happen to your child, right? You don't live in that fear, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
But now the fear is even greater because if something happens to her, there are no more at home. And so I live with a level of fear that I have to protect her and keep her safe because if something happens to her, there's no more. That's it.
Hmm.
She's gone, there's no more.
Well, that makes sense. Knowing you and seeing your motherly ways with her.
Helicopter parent is what you
Oh,
love to call me.
that makes a lot of sense.
But I mean, I live with a level of fear that I don't know that I did before. And like I said, I think it sounds crazy when I say it out loud because it doesn't matter if you have one child or 10 children.
It's amplified if it's just one, because if I lost one, I still have how many more that you
Can't,
still have to get out of bed for.
yeah,
I still have to move on. I still have to be a mother to the other ones. But in your shoes, with the older one being out the house for a while now, if you lose her and then Ian goes to work, I mean, you're going to be sitting there alone. That would be life altering. You wouldn't have that same reason that most mothers have to get out of bed, because they have another child they need to be there for, which is normally somebody's reason.
I don't think I've ever said that out loud because it sounds terrible. But yeah, I live with a greater sense of fear that if something happens to her, I don't have any more at home. Of
Yeah. And I mean, I wonder if that is in light of the journey, because I have a fear of losing my kids or anybody I'm
course.
close to, but I don't live with that intense of the fear that you do. And I wonder if that comes from trying so hard to have another baby and it's almost feels like you were robbed of it.
Yeah. I was very angry
Like,
at
people get a choice. I want this many kids. I don't want any more kids. Like, I had that choice. And, obviously with Gracie, I mean, I didn't get that choice. Between my children and stepchildren, there's 5 kids.
yeah.
But to be in your shoes, it wasn't your choice.
No, and I lived very angry at God for a period of time.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
What
Absolutely.
period was that?
Whenever it was finally over.
So last year?
I remember when I lost my dad, I showed up at my grandmother's house and she opened the door and I said, "I'm so mad." And just kept saying, praise God in all things. And pulled away from the hug and I said, "Would you stop? This is his fault. God did this. I am mad at God." And she said, "It's okay to be mad at God. You just have to tell him. You can't quit talking to him."
You know what's funny about that? When I was in the hospital, with Gracie,
Hmm.
and they sent a priest in my room,
Hmm.
and I didn't wanna see the priest. I don't wanna talk to the priest at all. Not what I was in the mood for, and I, broke down and said, "I'm angry.
Yeah.
I'm mad." So, I mean, that is very, very normal,
Yeah.
but he said the same thing. He said the same thing. "It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay to be angry with God. Tell him."
Probably the next time that I was that angry with God was the very end of the fertility journey. I just kept playing like a broken record in my head. Praise God. I don't know why, but my grandma said, "Praise God." And I praise God in all things. And I'm like, I mean, I'm mad, but praise you and everything. So
Do you
yeah.
think that there'll be a place and time where you're gonna get to and be like, "Oh, that's why." Do you ever wait for that day to come? Because he doesn't do anything to hurt you, and as hurt or betrayed you feel by him,
Yeah.
you know inside that's not the case.
I don't
Ever?
think there's a reason. I don't think I'll get to that point. Nope. I think that I think I'm a good mom. I think Ian is an incredible dad. I think we parent well together. I think that we are in a physical, emotional, financial position to do it. And I don't know if I will ever understand why God would not let me do that. And so, yes, maybe I am still a little mad at him. Praise God in all things.
Well, I got to that point, and it was Jana.
Yeah.
I felt like God knew Jana was coming.
God didn't give me a Jana yet. I'm still waiting on my Jana. Yeah. I don't think I'll get to that point. I'm still mad about it. Like I said, I've made peace with it.
Have you?
But I don't think I'll ever be truly healed. And that's what I mean by I've made peace with the decisions and I've made peace.
Have you accepted it?
Yes. And maybe that's what I mean by I've made peace with it. I don't know how you really truly heal from it. I don't know if I will ever be really healed. And I pray that one day I stop questioning God because I still question.